Good morning, chat. Hope you can hear me. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Penbu. I am a programming, puzzle gaming, and music making VTuber on Linux. For those of you who made it to the debut the other day, thanks for coming back. So, let's make some black holes today, shall we? In this repo, we have, and I'm going to put this in chats. We have this old meme, the heaviest objects in the universe. Node modules being the package manager, or rather the packages from npm nodes. So these are all the dependencies you get from whenever you install a JavaScript package on Node. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some crazy programming where we try to, instead of trying to use packages that are useful, we're just going to try to maximize them. So the rules here are simple. We can't use a package that outright solves a problem that we're trying to solve. So for example, FizzBuzz, there are probably a bunch of FizzBuzz packages out there, and we can't just use a FizzBuzz package to make it work. We also have to try to use as many packages as we can. So as we're going to try to do for even the very small things, like I know there is a package that returns a string with the letter I in it. So we might end up using that one. Before we get to that, how are you, chat? Hope you're all doing well. This, by the way, is from this Reddit post. I think it's, it's been posted around a lot, but I think this is the one that's the most popular post with it. And there is actually, maybe we'll start off with the FizzBuzz program, because we did start with that. We did do a FizzBuzz program in the debut. Biggest dependency graph or biggest list of direct dependencies. It's going to be a little bit flexible there. Perhaps not the direct dependencies, but well, for example, there is this FizzBuzz npm edition repo that does basically what we're going to do, and it does this for FizzBuzz. So I was actually thinking of not doing FizzBuzz because it's already been done, but a lot of things have already been done, so we may as well do it ourselves. This dependency graph looks like this. Oh, that doesn't actually resize. There are 23 modules in it. It has 2 direct one, 2, 3, 4, 5 direct dependencies, and then that has a bunch of other dependencies along with it. So I don't think we're going to go for direct dependencies, but we are going to try to use as many direct dependencies as we can. And then we'll see. It isn't really all that strict because this is mostly just for fun. Don't do this in production, please. But yeah. I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 direct dependencies here. And this repo, or this organization on GitHub, actually does publish a lot of the other ones. So like I said, letter I earlier, it is because it is for this FizzBuzz application. Now, I haven't actually tried doing this, or any practice for this, so we'll see how this goes. But the main idea here is we're going to find a problem, say, on LeetCode. There's a bunch here. And we're going to pick one and then try to solve it using the npm packages. I guess big node module size is the goal according to the meme. Yes, hopefully. Although I think well, I guess it depends on what we pull in. If we try to pull in big packages like Lodash, which we might actually do, definitely we'll get large ones. Yeah, so let's start off with some FizzBuzz. I have on the right here the FizzBuzz program that we wrote the other day as reference, and so that we know how it works. And we're just going to try to adapt this using npm packages. I kind of want to just cheat and use the ones that are here. But without looking at the codes that's in this one. So we're just going to try to build it ourselves. So we want to do, say, function, do the same thing as we did before. Set ft javascript so it gets syntax highlighting. Now we should have, we're looking at the repositories here. We have is multiple of 5, multiple of 3. We're going to go at the lowest level, is multiple of 3. If, actually, we're going to try to look for an if package. npm if, because there's surely something here. There we go. Conditional branching for JavaScript. Yes, okay. If the condition is truthy, then the handler function called passed to then will be called. So if the condition is truthy, then we get the handler, else the handler, and I assume this thing returns. Oh no, it doesn't return. I think it just does things. If and react if yin and yang. Well, we're not. I don't think we're going to be doing any React stuff today. But this would actually be kind of useful if you were using React somewhat, because you do have other things that you can do in React, but this, I guess, allows you to keep it all in React components. But we're not doing React today. Maybe some other time. So we are going to import that package. Well, first we have to install it. So we're going to go to fizzbuzz directory. And then we npm install save, it was called if. We're going to install that. And again, just using CommonJS for simplicity. How do we call this thing? It doesn't tell us how to import it. Nice. And there is no repo. Even better. Const if require if. I'm just going to assume things here. Actually, let's see if we can destructure this. If dot, maybe we can get completion. No, we cannot. Nothing here. Yeah, that's all just generic stuff. Okay, so we're just going to look in the code here and see what's up. We have function if, prototype, else, and if, call, and exports if. Okay. So we can destructure this. So require if here, the package exports an object containing... Wait a minute, that's not right. This is a constructor. If.prototype.then puts it on the prototype. This also puts it on the prototype. Call handler, this executed true. Isn't that part of JSX? JSX is the syntax for the React components. So if you're writing it in the XML like syntax, JSX is that. That gets compiled down to React, or rather to functions that React exports. So he said there are examples in the example folder. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, so var if equals require that. Okay, I see. So we can just call it if then. No destructure required. Thank you. So if, and then we had earlier, we get back here, is multiple of 3. Actually, we might want to go a little bit lower, is multiple of. And then I think there should be one here that returns to number 3. I guess not. Okay. But let's take is multiple of. Let's import that. I should just copy and paste. Well, so I'm going to copy and paste. And then let's go, while that's installing, let's go look for a package that returns a number 3. npm package 3. There we go. Oh no, this is the actual 3JS library. 3JS is actually pretty useful. Yeah, I think it has to do with rendering graphics, but that's not useful for us here. 3 full. There might not be one. Return number. PMLS. Okay. So we might just have to do this ourselves. Maybe we'll just import the is multiple 3 package instead. Unless I can think of something else. npm uninstall save is multiple of is multiple of 3 is what that's called. It's a visualization thing, kind of like graphs on steroids as far as I know. Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, you can use it for that, but it is a generic 3D library. What do we have here? So what we have now is multiple of 3, const is multiple of 3. Of course, I can't code complete that because it doesn't know what I'm thinking. Of 3 equals require is, I should still have that on my clipboard. 3. So if is multiple of 3, and looking at how to use if, it should just take in a boolean. Okay, very good. So if multiple of 3, n, dot then, what do we say here? We also need is multiple of 5, so we're going to do that. Let's save that as well. And if we notice here, we do have this and here, so we're going to look for a package that has an and. npm and. That's going to be hard because and is a bit of a stop word. But I do know Ramda has it. So Ramda is a package for doing, what do you call it, functional programming. And this should have an and function that we can use. Oh, there we go. And there's also an and then. Oh, that's a promise. We don't want promises. Okay, we're going to import Ramda just to use the and. Ramda is pretty big. If we go to bundlephobia, .com? I don't remember. It's .com. Bundlephobia is a site that lets you see how large packages are. And if we type in Ramda here, we see that it is 60k minified. I don't actually know how large it is unpacked, and I think npm gives us that. Go to npm. Unpacked, it is 1.17 megs, which is pretty big. Perfect for this meme. So we are going to import Ramda. Const Ramda, I usually call it R. Require Ramda. And then we're going to use the and here. Nope. r.and is multiple of 3, and is multiple of 5, which we also have to import. 3, 5. And we're also going to pass n to that. So now we have 3 and 5, and then we need our then. Are we going to do a functional solution for the meme too? Well, we'll see. I don't think the if allows us to do... Actually, maybe it will. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to restrict myself to any specific paradigm. Whatever comes out, comes out. But we'll see if we end up with one. Although fully functional is also a good idea for a standalone stream. So we need to return the string fizzbuzz. And if we look here, we do have letters. And then we're going to need a way to concatenate them, which I guess this one has. Oh, this even has a modulus operator. Okay. So we're going to build these out from scratch. Or not from scratch, rather. We're going to build them out from these letters. And then I guess also using this general concat one. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. So we are going to install letter, what do we need for this? F, I, Z, E, and U. Am I missing anything? U, Z, F, I, B, that's 5 letters. And then also the general concat. Okay. So we're just gonna build this out because, or not. We're going to want to build out this string. If takes in a function, it seems. We're not gonna attempt, oh. Okay, we could go even a step further because we can do a new function and then some sort of string with a function body. I think that's going a little bit too far. So we're just going to create an actual function. Okay, so we create a function and it has to, I guess, set outputs of some empty string. That's not what I wanted to type. Because this if then doesn't actually return anything, we actually have to do something with it. And I don't think we can return out of here because it would only return out of this inner function. So we do have to actually set something from outside. And then we return the output, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna break this up into multiple lines, just for clarity. So we have a dot then, and then we want to build the string fizzbuzz. And for that we want const letter I equals require letter I. Const letter F require I was gonna make a macro or something. Never mind about that. Letter F. Const letter Z equals require letter Z. Letter B. I should have taken the time to do it. And then U is the last one. Okay, so now we have our letters. We also need our general concat. Concat equals require concat, general concat. So now we want to concat the letter F, letter I. I'm gonna break this up. Letter Z. Letter Z again. The letter B. Letter U. And then 2 more Zs. And then this actually needs to get assigned to output, but I wonder if there's a npm assign. There's object assign, which is not what we want. Actually, that can be what we want. So we're going to make output an object so we can use that package. Object assign is object.assign polyfill. It basically takes in an object, and then for every key that's in the second object, it assigns those keys and value pairs into the first object. So it modifies the first object. And we are going to exploit that. So now we're going to import object assign. And so now we have it with us. Const assign equals require object assign. That's how we do it. And we assign the outputs and this whole thing. I didn't have to do that. So we haven't actually run anything yet either, so I don't know if this will work. We also haven't been running any tests, but that's fine. We have BizBuzz. We concatenate them all. We assign. Oh, we actually need to create an object out of this. Let's look for a package. npm create object line 26 comma. Yes, thank you. I don't have a comment. Let's actually save this before I lose it. BizBuzz.js. npm package create object. I don't think we have one, so we're just gonna have to put up with that. We have to call this something. I guess we can call it value. And then output.value here, except we have a package that we can use. I think Lodash is another one of those utilities, like all-in-one utilities. And this thing has a path utility. So we go to documentation, we go to path, or gets, I think it was called get. So instead of doing, say, if we're traversing this A, B, C, instead of doing it in code like this, you give it as a string, and then .get will take that path, parse it, walk through the object, and give you the value. The only experience I have with Lodash is telling devs, yes, they have to upgrade it to fix the security vulnerabilities. Yeah. I try to avoid Lodash when possible in actual codes, but if it's already there as a dependency, then you may as well use it. But you should also keep things updated as security stuff gets fixed. Okay, so we are going to install Lodash. So now we have two very big dependencies, Lodash and Ramda. Let's have a look at how large Lodash is. npm Lodash. 1.41 megs. It's actually a lot smaller than I expected it to be. But it is bigger than Ramda. So, const underscore equals require Lodash. Lodash is a pun for low as in LOW dash, coming from the earlier library underscore. Okay, so what do we have here? We want Lodash .get from outputs the value as a string. Now I looked around, there aren't any other what do you call it? There aren't any other packages for all the individual letters, just the ones for BizBuzz. So unfortunately we're stuck there. So we may just have to use this string. There is actually, so objects.values exists. And we could potentially take this and use it as a string value. But I don't think we have another package to do that with, so I think we're just going to leave that as is. So, what do we have here? Actually, you know what? Because it doesn't matter what we call value, let's take one of these. Let's call it, let's use F. And then we're gonna do F here. Not that it matters, but it's kind of funny. Do we have a package that can return an empty object? That is a good question. npm return empty object. Just is empty. Built for utilities for every occasion. This gives us an is empty check. npm object. Wonder if we can get anything. Object hash. Hash of that. Nope, those are just hashes. Although, funny thing, I think we actually can do something. So let's take this. Let's take object hash, completely unrelated package. Const hash equals require object hash. Yes, it is prototype time. And then, does this need anything? Does this need to actually do something? Can it just take in nothing? Object hash of an empty. Let's run that. Argument required. It doesn't actually matter what we pass in here. We can pass in itself. But why pass in itself if we can just use another package? Okay. Let's take that. npm install save random. Copy to clipboard, didn't end up using it. Alright. Const random equals require random. And so we are going to take the hash of the random function and then use lodash.get to get out the underscore proto property. There might actually be a package for this. npm get prototype. Get prototype. And pass function returns its prototype, throws an error, prototype is null. Pass an object, it assumes it's prototype, and it assumes it's a prototype and returns it as is. That's not right. Well, you gotta reach into the proto. Alright, that one won't help us. Prototype in Node.js. Object extend prototype. What does this do? This might be an actual... So there is, I think, some sort of library called prototype. I don't remember what it does. It might be that. Bower, I haven't seen that in a long time. 25 days ago, why are you still using Bower? Application prototype, this doesn't look like something that's useful. Prototypes, count properties, define property, filter in, starts with, does not play well with current node versions. Do we care? I don't know. But it looks like it probably isn't something that we have, we can use anyway. What's the current hotness fights? In terms of hip new stuff, that's a good question. I haven't actually been keeping up. React is still popular for like for actual use, and so is Angular, but in terms of new frameworks, I can't say. Okay, so we might actually just have to put up with that. Unfortunate, but that's okay. So we have outputs, gets the prototype from the hash hash returns a string, we should get the string prototype, and we get letter F. So F is not in the string prototype, so it shouldn't matter. Actually, no, okay, no, I got it. So we actually can use this. We can't use this, because this one requires... Did I close it? I might have closed it. It's not, I didn't close it. So this takes in a function. We don't have a function, we have a string. Is there a way to turn a string into a function? Technically. I did mention the new function earlier. And for the sake of installing a new package, I think we might do that. I've heard SolidJS and Svelte are good if you have the luxury of working on a greenfield project. Yeah, I actually have been wanting to learn Svelte, and I think I want to rewrite the website in it. Right now it's written in Zola, and I've had to fight the generator to get it to do stuff that I want. So I figured, from an idealistic standpoint, I like Svelte. I've never used it, but it seems like I probably would like it better than Rust, or not Rust, sorry, React. So I do want to learn that, and then also rewrite the website in that. Future string, maybe. Okay, so where were we? We have get prototype. Const get prototype. Those require get prototype. And then we have the new function thing, but maybe it doesn't matter if we do that. Let's do get prototype first. And then remove the rest of this. Okay, I do want to see what this returns when we give it a string. I think it just returns a string as is, because strings are technically objects, because everything in JavaScript is an object, more or less. Get prototype, some string. Should make a personal site, really. I would probably use a static generator like Hugo or Jekyll. Been ages since I've researched those though. For my site, I'm using Zola, which is a single binary, and it's very nice to, very nice because of that. So I don't have to install runtime. So no having to deal with Ruby, no having to deal with. Hugo is what, React? So I mean, I already have Node on my system, and I already do have Ruby on my system as well. So it's no big deal, but if you want to maintain it with someone else, then it's nice to be able to just tell them, install this, and then these are the commands to get it running. Hugo is Go. But wasn't Hugo, maybe I'm thinking something else. I was thinking of the React static site generator, but I don't remember what that was. Maybe it wasn't Hugo. The argument for get prototype must be a function or an object. Okay, so it actually recognizes that this is a string and doesn't want to deal with that. Okay, so we get the prototype of this now, which I guess needs to be a function. Which means this value doesn't actually matter, but we're going to keep it in anyway. So now we have the prototype object of a function, and then we add to it the letter F as a key. F isn't being used in any of the other prototype functions, so it should be safe to use. And we get that value out. So all this just to do this case here. Now we have to do the rest of them. Next. Like Next.js? I don't think it was Next.js I was thinking of. Okay, so we have a dot then, and so then that is for this case, and then we need to do our else. Yeah, there are a lot of them, definitely. Okay, so now we go back to the if. And then we can use if, else, if. Okay, so we do it that way. Dot else, dot if. And then we pass in another one, is multiple of 3. Pass in the n. Dot then. And we do something similar. I guess we assign the outputs. And we only want biz this time. And then if it's multiple of 5, we only want buzz. So we copy this. Remove that. I think that lines up. Does that line up? Something is not quite right here. Because I need v dot then 47. That's not right. Alright, let's scrap that. Paste it in there. That's the wrong casing. And then I also need that. I'm just going to copy that and change 3 to a 5. And then we may as well make this consistent. Move this up here, reformat, I guess reformat this as well, and then reformat this. And then that should take care of that. We have close bracket there, close brace. And we want buzz. 50. And then on 41, get rid of the extra comma. And I think JavaScript actually has support for trailing commas on parameters, arguments, probably both. I just prefer to leave them off. Okay, so that takes care of these ones here. JSON, yeah, JSON you definitely can't do it. And it used to be that you couldn't do it in regular JavaScript as well. They added it for what was it, arrays and objects at one point, but left off functions, and then functions were added later. And then we have an else here, and I think you use a dot and then as well. Oh, you do not. Okay. So else you have another function, and then this one we assign outputs letter F, and then now we have to find a way to turn the number into a string. So let's find another package for that. Normally, if you were doing this in just regular JavaScript, the string constructor is good enough, but that's not good enough for us. ToString. Conveniently, ToString. This is probably okay. 10 years ago. Need web scale. Yeah. ToString. Let's give it 5. And that gives us a string that we want. So let's use this. Unless, is there a bigger package that we can use? This one published 7 years ago. String.js, or simply S, is a lightweight JavaScript library for the browser or for Node.js that provides extra string methods. Extra string methods is not... Is it what we want? Let's try it. String, I don't know if is... Let's call it S. S, we can give that 5. Oh. Okay. We can use that. So let's use string. npm install save string. And then we can import string, require string, and then we use string of n, and we want to use lodash. We keep using lodash get. Is there another package? Npm get. Because nobody says we can't use two packages for the same thing. Object path get. Security fix. Prototype pollution. Very nice. Okay. I think we can use this. 60.9 and then 15. This is larger, so we'll take this. Object path. npm install save object path. Const object path equals require object path. I have in my clipboard. I should use that. And we wanted to get out the letter, the path s from it. So object path, and how do you use this? We give it the object, and then we give it a path as either an array or a simple string. Okay. We only want an s though. npm letter s, just for sanity's sake, because maybe there is. npm letter package. No, of course not. That's fine. So we'll take that. We'll take s. I wonder, actually, is it cheating to install a bunch of web frameworks, importing them, then putting a comment saying decide on one of these later? I think we actually have to use them for it to count. Although, you know, importing all of React and then using a single function from React, that might actually do something. And that is valid. Object path s. Now I'm thinking of, we have the letter s, right? And if you toString a function, you actually do get something back. Object path get. Where was the s from earlier? This is pretty common for me. I tend to rack up the number of tabs because I open a tab for everything. Okay. Requires string, so I'm just gonna find string because it should be in here somewhere. Maybe I actually closed it. No, it's in here. Okay. So what if you give it s itself? Function export string. Okay. So we have an s here that we can use. Which may not work if it's compiled down, but you know, who cares? I recommend the tree style tabs Firefox extension. I did actually used to have that back before Firefox did its big UI overhaul, and then I just stopped using it. Haven't gone back since. Maybe you should consider it again. But I also never used it vertically. I always used it horizontally just for tab grouping. I don't know. We'll see. So object path. We can give it s again. Or we can give it another function. We can give it another function. Let's go with object path get. Actually, you know what? You mentioned. Let's go. Oh, no. React is only 316 kilobytes. Oh no, but this is only the package itself. If we go to Bundlephobia. No, it's .com. React. Bundle size is still less than I expected it to be. I use it vertically. It has a side effect of making the main viewport almost exactly 16 by 9 for video. See, for me, I actually have a tiling window manager, and I have my windows tiled. And I often have a bunch of windows on the side. So for example, like this, although a little bit more this way. So usually I'll have something on the side and then I'll have this main portion here. So if I did have vertical tabs, it would use up a lot of the space, and then I'd only have this little bit of space here for the actual content. But okay, I mean, we may as well pull in React anyway, just for the memes. Toggle it on and off with F1. I do actually like seeing all of my tabs for some reason. So I don't like, so for example, the taskbar, I know a lot of people have that hidden. I like to keep that on, and same thing with the tabs. But hey, if it works for you, right? So npm install React. And then const, but we should actually check to see what we get from here. Require React, and then we do React in here. What do we get? Object, object. We don't actually get an S. But if we console log out React, we should get something. I'm pretty sure it has something with an S in here somewhere. Counts to array function. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Is valid elements we can use? Sure. Use states. React.use states. React.use states. Yeah, I'm surprised too. React doesn't have more dependencies. It always seems kind of large, but I guess. Actually, you know what? We can look at that. We put in React here. Look at the dependency graph. That's it. It's only 3. Okay, let's go look at Angular then. Because Angular might have more. Oh, you know what? Actually, it might be because it's React/core now. Or not. But anyway, let's have a look at Angular and see what we get in npm. We're gonna go with the CLI. We're just go with the regular Angular. Angular/core, what we want. So then there's Angular 1. These file issues, requests. Okay, so let's have a look at what Angular has. That is disappointingly low as well. But also it's 19 megs, so I think we're okay. So we're gonna uninstall React. We're gonna install Angular instead. Const Angular equals require, but at the same time we also have to find something that has an S in it. More bytes is more style indeed. Go find that string one again. Did I actually just close it? Run kits. So we require at Angular slash core. Call it React because I don't want to change the variable name. Console.log React. Require a VS module is not supported. Right, okay. I think I can use import here. Or not. Okay, there goes Angular. Because I don't want to switch to ES modules. And it seems like it requires ES modules. Probably should have started with that actually. What's the other one that's big? Vue.js is big. Pim install. Pim Vue. Is it just Vue? It is just Vue. 2 megs. It's not as big as Angular, but it'll do. We're gonna install Vue instead, but actually we should take a look at what's in here. Again, if I can spell. Keeping the variable name as React because I don't want to change it. We require Vue console log React, which is actually Vue. And then we get all of this stuff. The first one that has an S is transition, and I think we can use that. React.transition. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter if it has an S or not. It just has to have an S in inside of its. So what toString does on a function is that it turns the implementation into a string. So if any of the so the JavaScript source code for that function is what ends up being turned into a string. So here we have props, and I think we can just use that. So Vue is viable. Assuming that it isn't restricting us to using ES modules. So we save Vue. I didn't expect FizzBuzz to take this long. Uninstall, save Angular core. Okay, so we have. We're not importing Angular anymore, we're importing Vue. Require Vue. And we can use yet another one. I think we had object path get. Worthy price to pay. Object path get. This one. Yet another get library. Let's take this. Install save this. Const object path get. I actually didn't look to see how this functions, but it looks like it's just the same as everything else. So it takes in a path. Equals require object path gets. Okay, what do we have? We have a string function we want to pass in Vue here, and we want to get object path. I don't know. We want this inside. So object path gets Vue, and we wanted the transition key. Because that's what we looked at. We have another toString function that we can use because we keep using S and we don't have to keep using S. Let's have a look. toString. Oh, that is tempting, but I'm not doing that. Okay. String kits, magic string, query string. String manipulation toolbox. inspired by sprintf. No. Maybe, but no. What if we pass in an object to this? String kits dot format of a string and say some object A is B. Okay, that's what you'd expect it to do. Does that help us? I don't remember. What were we looking at? Because we wanted to choose string, but if we pass in a function instead, because that's what we are actually doing, pass in a function and we say, I give it a string. Does this print out the function? Yes, it does. Which means that is actually viable and we can use that. So let's import string kit and install save string kits and const string kits equals require string kits, and we replace this s with string kits. Object path gets view transition. We want to turn that function into a string with string kits, and then we want to get our view equals require view string kit formats view.transition. And we want to get the first s that's in there. Right now is that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in, which means we want index 7. 7. That's not 7. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I just suck at counting. 5. Okay, there we go. We have an S. So how do we get 5? I think we put in a number here earlier too, didn't we? We didn't. We did have the multiple of 3 and 5s though. I'll move this up here. But you know what there is a package of? Add 1, which I think there has to be. Or increment. Surely. Require adds. Cross-browser numerically stable way to add floats in JavaScript. Provides faithful rounding. We can give it a try. See what we get here. Add, and I think, what did it say? How do you use this? Add evil is that. Okay. Some, fast to some. Or if you just give it the thing. Where does this function start? Look for axons. Axon P, okay. So we actually want, I guess this one. 5, 6, 5, 7. We got a 0. What do we get at 0? Okay, forget this one. There still has to be another add package though. Arithmetic. Angular arithmetic. Angular.module. I don't want to deal with Angular actually. Is there a generic arithmetic package? Math expression evaluator. Package does not have a README. Classic. Of course. Subtract division. Don't even spell division correctly. Let's try to find something larger. And we can fall back to this one though. Math expression evaluator, an extremely efficient, flexible, and amazing evaluator for math expression in JavaScript. mx.lex expression to postfix and postfixed. So how does one actually use this? .eval expression. Do I want to learn this library just to do this? So you create an mx object, you parse it using this, and then you create a postfix notation, and then you can eval it. So, and then the result contains the result. You know what, that seems simple enough. Let's do it. Math expression evaluator. npm install save. I do not want to do this inline, but I think I can do it over here. So our goal is to get, what is it, 5, right? 5 is equal to something. And then we're going to use this math thing to get... oh, that's not where we want it to be. Const math... I think that's what they called it. Yes, okay. Equals require this thing. Turn that into there. I actually do prefer using double quotes for strings, but at work we use single quotes, and it's a lot harder for me to switch to using double quotes when you use single quotes so often. Okay, so now we create our math expression. And you know what? This looks like a pipe. And you know what else is also a pipe? We can have a pipe package. Ramda has one, but we don't want to use Ramda. And I think Lodash also has one. But we also have already used Lodash. Tend to default to doubles in some languages, namely Bash, prevent variable expansion in singles. Yeah, the reason I do prefer a double is because of language portability. Not that you're copying and pasting code from one language to another, but it's nice to have that habit. Yeah, in JavaScript it doesn't matter, but in certain languages, like you said, Bash, it does. PHP, I think, as well. But I don't write PHP anymore. And then in some languages, you only have double quotes. So like C and Java, I think. Pipe streams together with simple syntax like A, B, or C. Through B, C... Wait, what? How does this work? So this is an arithmetic, or sorry, bitwise OR. I think C sharp single quotes are characters, something deranged. Oh yeah, no, C, well, coming from like base C, yeah, those are characters. And the other C-like languages probably inherited that. This is insane. Okay, so it does some black magic behind the scenes to, for some reason, how does it do this? I gotta look at this. So value of is what I was expecting. JavaScript, if you define a value of function, and you attempt to turn a value into a number, so in this case an object that has a value of property, it will call a value of function. And so what this is doing, pipe.left, where does it do left from? I'm not sure where it gets left from, because pipe is this function. If pipe.left, then left.pipe is this. Pipe.left is this. Oh, it has global state. Overloading the bitwise or proto. You can't actually overload operators in JavaScript. You can only override certain coercions. So turning things into a number, turning things into a string, things like that, through these properties. So value of is the way to override the conversion to a number. Okay, so what this does is it takes in, or it keeps the global state, and then whenever the value of function is called, a value of function is called because you're turning it into a number from bitwise operators. So bitwise operators will turn this into a number, both values. It sees if there has been a pipe, and if there has been a function before this, and if it does, it pipes the value to the next one. How does it know to end the pipe? I'm just going to trust this works. We're only going to use it once anyway. But okay. Save pipe. This is absolutely insane. So we have a new math expression, pipe 5 equals that. I'm going to try to find math expression evaluator. Okay, so we have new math expression. So we actually can't do this yet. Const, need to save it here. Do you have to? Oh, you do. Yuck, okay. I hope this doesn't require, well, this might require binding. Okay, so what is through? I have to import another package, which is good for us. Easy way to create a stream that is both readable and writable. So this probably isn't going to work inside of a browser, maybe? Actually, no, it does work in a browser because it has that. But okay, let's take through. Because we're going to have to use this, apparently. Const through equals require through. And const, what was the other one we had? Pipe. Pipe equals require pipe. Require pipe.install. So we aren't even doing that, it's doing that, okay. So what do we need here? We need a function that returns this value. Okay. Let's start with creating a function. Through function, and notice that it uses this, which means we need to use the full form of function. If we try to use the arrow functions, we don't have a this. Or rather, the this becomes the this of the outside scope, and that's not what we want. Oh, it says does not require through. I just like using them though. You know what? Well, I mean, yeah, let's do it anyway. Function. What is d? D.toString. So d is the value that you get through it. Sure, let's call it d. And we need to give this thing this.q In this case, we want it to be a constant. So I guess a new math expression? Probably. How does it know? Oh, a dot right. Okay, no. So you need. I see. So a dot right, a. So you get it through that. So you don't actually want this one. We want it to be. We go back to our math thing. We want d.lex and then the expression. How are you going to get the expression though? Because we can't? We can. I guess we can just hard code that. So q d dot, oh, bring that back. We get d dot lex and then some sort of expression. We need to find a way to get to 5. Irony, sure. Get all this stuff just to get a 5, even though we already have it. So we have a 5, we lex the 5, and that returns an array of token, which will be further processed, and we need to pass it to postfix. Can we count the number of installed packages in floor div to 5? That's a good question. Well, I don't know if we want to count the number of installed packages, but we can count something. And now the question is, what do we want to count? Because the more we add, that might change it to something, right? We'll come back to that. BizBuzz. Actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 8. If you add one more letter, you actually get to 5. That's an idea. We can create an array. Why is there a create? I mean, I shouldn't even be asking that. Use array.from instead. So this tells me that it predates a lot of the nicer stuff that we had before, or that was introduced later. So create an array from this. Create an array of views. Sure, let's go fauna. Okay, but how do you actually use this? npm install save create array. And then we create an array. I think this takes into counts, and then a function, and then I guess it applies that map to that function. But all we have to do is create array 5 of the string u to do that. Okay. We're gonna use a literal 5 again for the irony. Const 5 equals, or what do we say? Creates array. Let's go import that. Const creates array equals required creates array. And then we pass it in 5, and we give it letter u. And then we need to turn this into a string again, because it needs to lex into a string. Can we find another toString package? toString loader, query string, convert string. JavaScript component to convert to and from strings and byte arrays. String to bytes, bytes to string. Can I take numbers? I hope it can take numbers. String.split is not a function. Okay, that's fine. But you know what? We're using a package, so I'm going to cheat and use a string constructor. And we have convert string dot bytes to string. I feel like this is kind of pointless though, because we already have, if I use, for example, s will require string, we just do that. Then we've just turned it into, we turn the number into a string, turn the string into bytes, and then bytes back to string. That doesn't feel right. It feels like it's inflating it for the sake of inflating it. But let's do it anyway. Convert string is that. And so we need const convert string will require, we're going to destructure that so that we don't have to deal with, we're not going to destructure that. We can use an object path for that. Require convert string. And we're going to destructure that const, what do we have here? It's by a string to bytes. Is equal to, well, that feels kind of pointless actually, but let's just use lodash.get convert string string to bytes, and then the same thing for bytes to string. Okay, so now we have our string to bytes and bytes to string. We have the letter, we have an array of 5 U's, and we need to get the length of the array. Find another package for the length of the array. npm array length. Typed array length. npm length, maybe there's one for just length. Robustly get the length of a typed array, or false if it is not a typed array. A regular array is not a typed array. So either we turn the regular array into a typed array, which there are no string ones, it's mostly all just numbers, or we don't use this. And I'm leaning towards not using it, because I don't want to have to convert through types there. Length time humans, I don't think this is what we want. Well, we can get an S here. It's not quite it either. Array. Array includes, array flatten, resorted, array buffer, byte length, reduce, find. You know what we can do? We can reduce it and add the numbers so that we can get 5. Let's do that. Okay, array.prototype.reduce. Ramda has an add. Let's use that actually. I already have Ramda open. We have a number and a number, and we add those two together. So we create an array of that, and then we reduce it using array.prototype.reduce this thing. And this, I think, takes in the same, or close to the same signature as the regular reduce. So it takes in the array that we want, in which case is the 5 array. Let's call this 5 array. 5u. And then it takes in a function that takes in the previous, let's call it x, or no, the accumulator. And then the x, the function or the value to actually add to it. And then we have ramda, we can use add, take the accumulator and the current one. And then now we actually have 5. Okay, so now that we have 5, we need now to use this and turn it into a string. And we were going to use these bytes to string to bytes, whatever, to turn that into one. And so bytes to string to bytes, and then we were just going to use the s function to turn 5 into that. Okay. Now keep in mind we haven't actually tested or run any of this yet, so we'll see if it works. So we did all that so that we can get... Right, we're inside of a through, so we can pipe things. Or even are we? So we have a new expression, and then we needed to create another. We go back to pipe. See how to use this thing. We have a bunch of functions. Our first function returns. So this takes in, we need to give this a name, const 5.1, I guess let's call that. Goes through. Yeah, it might just work first try. And we've been thinking about it the whole way through, and I don't see any syntax error. I mean, you've been pointing out some syntax errors, and we've been fixing them all the way through, so we should be okay. So we have the lex now, and I'm going to pin this. And then where is our arithmetic one? Math expression value. I'm going to pin that as well. So we get the lext, and then we need to give it the postfix lext. So I think we might actually have to or rather let. It's very possible I didn't catch everything. I mean, the same goes for me too, right? I think we might just have to do that one here. Which means this now needs to change, and it's not D anymore. It's going to be that. And I take all of this stuff out and put it out here, so that we can take this out and put it up here. How does this work? A.write. Okay. So somehow we do 5.1.write this thing. Five string, 5 number, I guess. We take that, put this here. Oh, that's too far. So 5u is our 5 array of 5 u's, and 5 number is our 5 as a number. And then because we thought this through, and we were going to turn it into a string, and then put it through some arithmetic. So 5152. Where do we get 51? 51 is this through here, const. So we actually want to give this thing this one the D. Because 5 right. What do we have here? We give it the 5 string. I think, yes. 5 2 equals through function D. This now, the D here is the Lex output. So we get this dot q dot mx p dot to postfix. And we give that D const 5 3 goes through function D, and now this gets the postfixed. And we do another this dot q in the math expression, and we get the actual evaluation. And this gets passed D, and from here we should get the results. And then how are you supposed to do that? Because I don't know if this actually returns anything. Let's try this out. And hopefully it still runs. Because otherwise we've spent all that time writing stuff for something that doesn't work. Pipe.install. And then we have how does this work? You say it doesn't require through, but you don't give us an example of how to not use through. Let's look at this source code again. Pipe.left, pipe this, pipe left this, apply s to arguments. Okay, so it is just a simple pipe. Which means that we can do function A, return S, I guess. Function B, which takes in something, return A plus, well, let's put another S. And then let's say const C equals that, and then we console.log out C. We get 0, which is not what we want. So how do you work? So let's add another function here. Let's say we say let's C equals that. Declare a C variable. We don't do this. We just do our C equals D. Unexpected token, because I need to do this. And even that doesn't work. Why? Okay, let's copy their code. We are using through, so at least our chance of success is a little bit higher. Var D, declare that D equals. I can't use D because we already have that. Call this out. Out equals D. And then console log out. Through is not defined because we have not imported it. and is undefined. Do we throw out this this package because we can't use it, or don't know how to use it rather? We already have a 5 anyway. But we don't have to throw out the entire thing because we can use Ramda's pipes. Or we can see if we can find another one. npm pipe package. ngx pipe requests npm functional. FPTS. Typed functional programming in TypeScript. I'm not using TypeScript, but it shouldn't matter. Probably. But also I don't want to read through all this to figure out how to use it. Aha. We have a pipe. No, we don't. Functional models. Okay, so we're just going to use Ramda's pipes. I don't want to have to deal with this. So r.pipe does take in a few, go back to the Ramda documentation, go find pipe. It takes in a bunch of functions and then it performs left-to-right function composition. So exactly what you'd expect it to do. And in this case we have, let's take this one. We still want to use through though. I don't want to have to deal with that. How do you use through? Right. No, I do not want to use through. So let's just create a function. And it takes in this. Let's keep D because I don't want to have... Okay, let's keep D. And then... let's do that, and then... oh, 90m dots, yes. Take that, and then take that one off as well. So now we have a pipe from... and we call it with 5 string, and we should get const 5 from that. Okay, so now we have a pipe from the whole pipeline lex postfix and then postfix eval, and the end result should be a 5 as a number. And so after that, get rid of this, get rid of this. Should now have all that just to get 5 out of here. So we have a string kit, we have this turned into a string, then we have 5, or not 5, we have 5 here. I feel like we could use a package, but at this point I feel like we're also using too many packages. Is this correct? No, that looks correct. Okay. So all that just to get an S. Because we have an S here. I've actually forgotten where we are now. Because we were looking at SN. Why did we do this? So N is our number. N is our number. We were taking the object path of this object here. Okay, I'm actually lost now. What were we doing here? I think I have an extra one there. We were doing all this to get 5, and because this gets us the string S. And we have a string kit. I remember what string kit does. String kits. Format S, that gets us Okay, that is what we wanted. So now we have S. And now I just have to remember why we were trying to get S in the first place. Because we were trying to get N. We're trying to turn it into a string. Object path. We're trying to get the path of something to get to S. Aha. And unfortunately, I don't remember. But S of N require string and then S of say 50. That gets us 50 as a string. Oh, that's why, yes, because it doesn't actually give us just a simple object, or it's just a simple string. It gives us that. Okay, so that makes sense. So we're trying to get the S out of the object that this provides, and so now we can give it to the letter F, or assign it to the letter F, which then we assign its output, and then we get that as a return value. Okay, so this should be our complete FizzBuzz helper function. That is our helper. And for the actual FizzBuzz stuff, we go here. Function FizzBuzz function. Type that again. FizzBuzz. What casing did I use there? Okay. I did say this was single before, so I'll use the same one here. B FizzBuzz. This also takes in an N, and I think for the sake of time, I just kind of want to just copy that over. Pim package fill array. Fill an array to the given length by repeating its elements. This is a fast implementation. Not exactly what we want, actually. I mean, it is and it isn't. But it's only because we're mapping through these. But okay, we'll just copy that and reduce our scope to just this, because this is already pretty large. And then we expect to get the same things as before. We'll take that, and then we create index.js with the same thing as we had index.js here. And we know what FizzBuzz looks like, so here we go. Time to test it out, and hopefully this just works. So node index.js, and I expect that we will probably get some sort of syntax error. There we go, 43. But after syntax errors are done, we might be okay. $54. And add to another comma. Oh, copy and paste errors. One more. Require a VS module random. Okay. So we're gonna have to get rid of this random one. We can use any other one. So let's pim install fill array. npm uninstall random. And we just change. Oh, want to go there. Random. And we replace random with fill-array. Do that, and then do the same thing for 29. Oh, no, I actually can't do that. So we have that. And then now that should just work. What else do we have? Get prototype was passed as a function, but that has no prototype object. This is on line 13. Not line 13. Index.js 13. There is no line 13 on index.js. Okay, get prototype as 13. So we have this. Let's turn this into a real function. Now we're just in the debugging portion. I don't know if this is gonna work. Bytes to string. Cannot access bytes to string before initialization. That means I have a typo. String to bytes, bytes to string. Because this needs to be down there. Cannot access 5 before initialization. This is now 5 number. Keep going. Can't understand after n. Lexer. Because what did we pass this in as? 5 string bytes to string. I thought this was supposed to be a 5. Console.log 5 string. This says that's not a 5. Five string. Oh, because I actually put in a... Alright, let's do that. We get not a number. You know what? I don't want to deal with this. So we are just going to say 5 string is a string of 5. Or rather, what we had before, s of 5 number. We can at least do this. I'm going to get rid of this. Which means we do end up having to... what is this from? This is convert string. We do end up removing one of our dependencies. So that's okay. Uninstall convert string. And then try to run that again. Can't understand after n. Why are you not a number? Oh right, because it needs to be... Oh no, that makes sense. Well, we can actually put this back. So we're gonna undo that uninstall. Instead of using s, we're going to use a string constructor. And we're still getting not a number. 5 string. Try that again. And if this fails, I think we're just going to get rid of that. String to bytes, bytes to string. Which is funny because this worked before. What is 5 number? 5 number is... should be that. But this is saying that this is not a number. So there's actually something wrong with our code here. So we reduce as adds. So I think our add function is not quite working. Lambda. Let's look at how add works again. Because this takes in 2 numbers and it outputs a number, which is what we expect. But reduce actually has... Oh, right. Because we needed to give it a 1. The x doesn't matter. X here is actually the letter U, and in our case, we don't want that. But that does mean that maybe we need to change this into something else, because we need to give it a default of 0 so that we start with 0 instead of start with U. Okay, so that should be fine. String kit is not a function because I removed it. Or didn't add it. On string kits equals required string dash kits. String kit has already been declared. Okay. I guess that means I accidentally uninstalled it at some point? Probably. Look at the package JSON, I don't see string kit. No, it isn't there. String-kits is that. String-kits. Taking a string kits.format. String kits.format. Where did you get this from? So returning the 5 into an S, or wait, we don't even need this. No, we do need this. I was looking at this already. It's format. Okay, no, I do need .format. Okay, so we're doing .format, and then we have a bunch of objects. This is really weird. What even is this? I have a bunch of 5s, which is not what we expect. Aha. Let's just start with one of these. Why do we have this? What even is this? What are we returning? So in our else clause, we have the outputs, letter F. I think we should probably console log out this console.log outputs. Sure. So what we should expect to see here is F and then some, well, hopefully the string, but apparently not. We get an array. We get an array? Okay, Lodash, what are you doing? Object.get takes in a path, or it takes in an object and then it takes in a path. We give it the path, and it correctly gives us that. Okay, no, that's correct. Because our FizzBuzz function takes in, or rather returns an array, so this is what we expect, at least from that point of view. Now we have to figure out why we get an object here. Okay, so once we get object path. This is coming from our object path one. And this should give us object path.get, that's why. It would help to use the libraries you import properly. Okay, so that's what we expect. So the rest of this should just work at this point. Almost. And I think that might be because we are still using these ones incorrectly. What does concat do? We have general concats. Concats hello world prints hello world. Oh, this is what you'd expect it to do. Assign output letter F. So what are we getting here? Say in the case of 3, do that. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I think our output for 1 is still wrong. Because we shouldn't be getting a 5, we should be getting a 1. Or actually, you know what it might be? I think something in here is console logging. Because of course it does. I put those in. Fives from your old console log, yes. Alright. So let's try 3. We should get 1, 2 fizz. Very good. 1, 2 fizz, 4 buzz. 1, 2 fizz, 4 buzz. All of that. Finally, fizz buzz. Taken, how long is it? It's over an hour. Do we want to deal with casing? I kind of don't. But that's okay. The fizz buzz challenge never asked for casing anyway. Yeah. So I was hoping we'd get through more challenges, but I guess fizz buzz takes it all. So we'll take it. Yeah. So git adds dots git commits. Oh wait, I can't do that because I don't want to echo node modules git ignore. We don't want to commit those. Git commits ignore node modules. Add -a. We should have all just these ones. Git commits implements fizzbuzz. Okay, how many packages do we have? DUHS, I think it is, node modules. 34 megs of packages, and we go to our package thing here, and I'm going to drag in the package JSON once I go to the start one. Let's look at this graph. Oh, that is large. How do I zoom out? That is very large. 111 modules. Babel even gets in here. Right, because we have Vue. 58 maintainers, 3 licenses, ISC, MIT, and BC3 clause, which are all compatible with the MIT that we have in our repo. And yeah, very large. What is this? Is this Vue? 1-to-1. Can't scroll. Array.prototype.reduce has a lot of these packages. ES abstract, ES array for a polyfill, which is interesting. Because reduce, you can actually just write it yourself, so I wonder why it's doing all of this. Object assign, object keys. Interesting. And we have a bunch of terminal packages here. Is multiple of 3, and these are all from the fizzbuzz org, which remember they only had 23 modules. We have a ton more than that. Do dev dependencies increase it at all? That's a good question. I don't know how this one. Oh, it says here include dev dependencies. We have it off, so they're not counted. Object assign, we have view, which is actually smaller than I thought it would be. It only has this bit here. But if we do include dev dependencies, it doesn't say that we have anything, or any extras anyway. But yeah, there we go. Fizzbuzz in 111 modules. And then our direct modules, and we can find that out by looking at package JSON. JQ.dependencies and get the length out of that. I think it was just len. And we don't actually have any dev dependencies, so package.json. Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, no, that makes sense. If it's if it only counts the dev dependencies for the package, then that would make sense. Normally dev dependencies aren't installed. No, I can't say that. Yeah, I don't think they're normally installed when you do an npm install for the sub packages, unless they have a certain script inside of them that tells them that it has to. So dependencies.length of package.json. Although we can probably just do the math here. It's not length, maybe it's length. 26. 26 direct dependencies for us. Yeah. So there you go, FizzBuzz. In 120 minutes. 120 minutes is 2 hours. Very good. I don't know, we might want to do this again some other time. Certainly not anytime in the near future. Although this tells me that it does have to be easy. Because anything more complicated, I think will just blow it up even more so. Okay, but it was the right decision to go with FizzBuzz at first, I think. In the meanwhile, next stream is going to be Tetris 99. So if you play Tetris and you have the Switch, come snipe me. Otherwise, be prepared to see T-spins. You can go a different route and try to do something more like a website rather than chaining together obscure stuff. You'll have to tell me about that. It sounds like an interesting idea, but I'm not quite sure what you mean. But I think it could be a viable idea. Well, anyway, that's FizzBuzz. So yeah, if you haven't, for those of you watching the archive, join the Discord if you haven't already. I will post the link in chat here. And hope that the bot works. I guess the bot doesn't work, I'll just have to put it in myself. There you go. As in, make a typical web app which would probably inflate size faster. Yeah, I guess. Like create a React app and then add in components from other frameworks as well. That'd be fun. So like a simple, well, I wasn't going to say, maybe not a calculator, because calculator does actually have a lot of logic inside of it. But say FizzBuzz as a web app. And then we can use that if-then that we saw earlier too, the JSX components. Yeah, I'll give that some thought. Thanks for the idea. But yeah, that's took a lot more engineering than I thought it would be, so I think we'll just end it here. In the meantime, I wonder if I can set up a redirect to the next stream. I don't know if I have access to that yet. We'll leave that for some other time. But yeah, anyway, thanks everyone for coming. And I hope this was a, I don't know if I want to call it insightful, but it is definitely a bit of a black hole. Let's just call it a black hole. Yeah, night everyone. I will see you next stream.